Shalom Aleichem. We're learning the wonderful Lekutei Halachot, first halacha, section 14. And that is what that is written in the Zohar, Hayoshevet Baganim, the one who sits in the gardens, about waking up in the middle of the night. Look over there, and it's written, the one who sits in the gardens, Begnuta vetinufa dehai alma shefela. That person sits in a disgraced place with filth of this world that is low and humbling. So, on that person, Hayoshevet Baganim, it's written, Chaverim makshivim lekolech hashmi'ini. Friends are listening to your voice. Even though that she is sitting in that filthy place that is impure and disgraced, even though that the person is in such low level, in disgrace and filth, even though Hashem Yitbarach, the Creator, source of blessing, and the angels, and the souls of the righteous ones in the Garden of Eden, means in heavens, are listening to your voice. In the aspect of Chaverim Makshivim Lekolech, friends are listening to your voice. That is itself the aspect of waking up in the middle of the night. Why is that? Because it's written that in the Garden of Eden, the righteous ones are sitting with Hashem, with God, and learning Torah. But when we wake up Chatzot, we're joining them with the voice of our learning. When we are waking up in the middle of the night and start learning Torah, focusing our minds in the limud, in the learning, by that we're joining that place of sitting and learning Torah with the righteous ones in the Garden of Eden, in heavens, and over there we are becoming one with them, so they can hear our voices even though we are in this low place in this physical world. And that itself is in the aspect of waking up Chatzot, like we learned. And Rabbeinu is bringing that he brought that verse, Hayoshevet Baganim, the one who sits in the gardens, that was said on that point that there is in every one and one that is laid in the place that he is laid, means that he is in a low place, but still has that good point inside of him, that from that point he can develop a connection with our Maker. And now, on the word, based on the words of the Zohar that we just learned, that thing is explained very well. Let's move to the next section, section 15, and that is the aspect of what that our holy sages explained on knowing how to know the right time of midnight, to know exactly what is the right time of midnight. How will the person will know? Like it's written in the Gemara in Masechet Brachot, it's written, and do we know that King David knew the time of Chatzot when it was? Even Moshe didn't know the right exact time. We have an assumption to say over there in the Gemara that Moshe himself didn't know. So how can David know when is the precise time of midnight? So it's written, King David had a harp that was hanged on his wall and it was playing on its own. So King David, even though that it was not so clear to him based on his wisdom where and when is the time of Chatzot at night, in the middle of the night, the harp that he had was playing. So he knew when the time of Chatzot, not because of his learning, not because of his understanding, just because that he had a sign that the harp was starting to play on its own. Means that the main redemption, the general redemption and the personal redemption, the redemption of the spirit of each and every one, depends in that knowing and in that understanding how to aim the point of midnight. Means that when the depth of sleeping, the heaviness of tiredness is falling on the spirit of the Israeli person and wants to reject him completely, to push him away, God forbid, by the huge amount of sins and crimes that he is almost going to fall, God forbid, God will save us, then In that time, Hashem will shine upon him in his grace for him to wake up himself in those good points that are in him and to revive himself, like we learned. That is the aspect of waking up in midnight. That then the Shekhinah, that it is the general spirits of all the people of Israel together, the inclusion, inclusion, I don't remember. All of them together. You're gonna fix me. All of those souls of Israel together, they are together the Shekhinah Kedosha. So in that time of almost midnight, the spirit of the Shekhinah Kedosha is in the minimum of its shine. It's in the most constricted place of them all. And then she's screaming in bitter voice to Hashem Yitbarach, as the aspect of the verse that is saying, like a deer who stands upon the water source, in the aspect of voice is sound in the mountains, the cry of the Shekhinah that is begging, and then Hashem Yitbarach wakes up his mercy and pulls a string of kindness. And all of that is known in the scripts. It's written in the book Pri Etz Chaim of the Arizal, of the Ari HaKadosh. And all of that is taking place with every person from Israel in every moment, in every time that the darkness and the sleep and tiredness is overpowering him, that he feels that he's almost going down. God will save us. Then, especially then, he should look for the good points inside of himself in the aspect of what it is written in the verse. If I would say I'm falling, your kindness, Hashem, will support me. When I was in the most tired that I was, your consolation will cheer up my spirit. That all of that is the aspect of the holy learning, that we're looking for good points inside of ourselves. That especially when the person is falling to the lowest and most constricted places of them all, God will save us. That he wants to say, I'm falling, God forbid. Then, especially then, the kindness of Hashem will support him to wake him up from his sleep and to strengthen him. That is the aspect of waking up in midnight. That then it's the time that you feel that you're the smallest ones and weakest. But then it's the time to wake up from the sleep. That is the aspect of waking up from your falling. By that aspect of Azamra le'Elokai be'odi, I'll sing to Hashem in the good points that I'm still finding in myself. And in that, the redemption depends. The general redemption and the personal redemption as well. Thank you. RDMC with the Muna project, all the nations with me. Close your eyes, just breathe, see the truth. Don't chase the fake world, don't buy the fake news. Be yourself, your own true self. Don't let no one take our natural wealth. See the good, no fear, no despair. Cherish who that you are and share. Source of power from an endless spring. Light of courage in yourself, yes. They can kick you down to the ground. Hold yourself up till you are, put up your crown. King of the creator, holy soul inside. Focus on the spiritual and you shall find